good afternoon. Oh boy, you guys, am I excited to ride the 2021 Triumph Rocket 3 GT. This is a bike that I've been, just looking at and admiring from afar, and have wanted to get the chance to ride. And if you can hear this bike, and I'll just be quiet for a second so you can hear it. It is beefy, because we're talking about, and I'm pretty sure this is still accurate, the largest production motorcycle engine. And I think we're the first test ride out. So we got that going too. All right, so automatically this bike I'll put the weight down here. It's a 600 plus pound bike. They require you to have some experience riding a larger bike, so luckily I had the Fat Bob to qualify it. But still, I mean, anyone could say that they've ridden a bike like this before so that they can go out and ride it. But we did it in truth, so we're all set. Here we go. Adjust these mirrors so I can actually see out of them. Probably should have did that beforehand. There we go. There we go. You can see out of the right one. All right. So we got forward controls here. You can see them here. It's a little bit of a stretch, but you know, I've ridden my Fat Bob was much further. This is a comfortable stretch for me. The only thing that I might be concerned about a little bit is the exhaust here on the right hand side, which your leg's going to be kind of resting up against as you ride. But again, I can ride comfortably with my foot on the peg without touching the exhaust, so that's something to take note of. But you are talking about the largest production engine, and we're talking about 150 cubic inches. It comes out to like 2458 or something like that cc's. This is just kind of a ridiculous size engine, and you can hear the power here. We'll go over the controls really quickly as we try to search out the signs for the test ride route, because this is an unguided demo ride. But we've got your cruise control controls here on the left, blinkers left and right on the left on a normal motorcycle. You got your horn, and then your screen toggle here, which is going to bring up various different things on your. You can see how they populated the screen here now. You got all this information, which is, I would say it's a small-ish screen for a bike this big. But again, when you're talking about the Rocket 3, it's kind of a not a minimalist bike, but by any means, but it's a cruiser, and so you don't want a gigantic display up here unless you're riding like a touring bike. So it's nice. It's okay. So right away, this does not feel like you're riding the enormous monster of a motorcycle that this is. Oh, and let's go back to the controls before I get ahead of myself. On the right hand, we have hazards. You've got a lock, which I'm sure is to activate probably the anti-theft on this motorcycle. And then your start, you've got to click the bike on a couple times before you can actually hit the ignition, which is also on the right. And then at the very bottom, you got home screen. So we're going to do that right now to get to... so you get to the home screen, and then you can scroll through. We're going to put it in sport mode with ABS. Oh, fogging up a little bit right here. Let's go back home. Oh, green light. Let's get ahead of this guy. Whoa, that is beefy. And here, what I think we're in sport mode now. Is it going to give me an indicator here? I can't see anything on here that says sport mode. But you got your gear indicator, speed, and then RPM, your tachometer here above. Just trying to keep an eye out for the signs on this route. Probably should look less at the screen and more at where I'm going, because I don't want to get lost. So 150 cubic inches. I mean, we're talking about the biggest bike I've ever ridden was the Fat Bob with 103 cubic inch engine. That's the biggest bike I've ever owned. But this motorcycle is obviously the largest displacement engine I've ever ridden. We're talking about over, I think it's 180 max horsepower and 100, I want to say 120, but obviously I put all these numbers on the screen here for you. 120 feet-pounds of max torque. We're talking about a torque monster here, and man, the seat height here I think is I want to say it's just above or around 30 inches, so fairly low to the ground. Nothing to worry about. I'm 5'6" with about a 30-inch inseam, and I can touch the ground fairly easily. We are down here at the IMS in Southern California, here in Costa Mesa. Rocket 3. This motorcycle's been around. This iteration, though, the Grand Touring model, super comfortable. We're talking about a riding position that has your feet forward at 5'6". Like I said, this is actually a really comfortable riding position for me. The seat, which is the stock seat here, is plush. I can see riding in this saddle for hours, because that's one thing you've got to consider when you're getting a new bike or trying out a new bike, is how is this bike going to feel over long distances, because this is a bike you're going to ride long distances. It's going to get you out on the curvies, the twisties, and you're going to enjoy riding this motorcycle. Because we've got some pretty decent lean angles as well, and I'll have these up on the screen for you. And just feeling this riding position, I think you're going to be able to get a lot out of this bike, not just on a straightaway. But what a sound that comes from this engine. It's not intimidating, but man, it's beefy, it's mean sounding, and I don't want to get going too fast. I just saw a cop back there, so we'll be careful. And if I don't see Newport Beach, fancy. Second gear getting, woo! We got ABS, just tested it out there. These brakes feel really nice, and that's going to help in situations like that where it would have been really easy for a bike as heavy as this to lock those tires up and then get up into a skid, and that's where it gets a little dicey, right? So really nice brakes. The ABS here works really well. We've got her in sport mode, and so we get up really quick. I will say though that the power here is linear, and so when you get on it, as long as you're rolling easy on the throttle, it's not going to be let this guy in here. It's not going to be super intimidating unless you want it to be. Unless you really want to get on it, then you really gotta grip it, because you're gonna get going fast in a hurry. We're just gonna run this. We're not gonna make this one. Nah. So I got some nice scenic area. The architecture in here is real nice. What I am worried about though is that we've gone too far, because I haven't seen a sign here for a while. You've got this little speed screen here, which all this is going to do is deflect a lot of the wind from hitting you right in the chest. Again, we haven't gotten up to too high a speed, so I couldn't really tell you how much that's going to help, how much that's going to give you a little bit of buffeting. But at least for what we've been doing so far, it's been really nice deflecting the wind. And actually, you could probably hear it here in the ride that it's keeping things pretty quiet as far as not pushing wind right into my face. Now again, I wouldn't call this bike nimble by any means, but let's make sure that there's no one behind us. This bike is, it moves much better and much more nimble than an older bike this size. Now, especially now, if you're looking at the Rocket 3 prior to, I want to say 2020 or 2019, the old version, definitely this bike is going to kind of feel much lighter, and the handling is probably going to feel a lot better too. And again, this is just me saying that because I've never ridden the old Rocket 3. But man, I know that they cut the weight in this newer version, and the styling. I mean, this is what drew me to this motorcycle in the first place. You know, it was an intimidating, just a monster of a motorcycle before, but now the redesign of the new model to me is like one of the best looking bikes on the market. I actually did a video, and I'll put the link up here for you guys to check that. The most beautiful bikes that are out, and put it out over a year ago, so it's not super current, but this bike, in my opinion, is one of the most beautiful bikes available to ride. Right off the lot. You know, obviously you can get some custom bikes that are really beautiful, but man, this bike is something to behold. And I'm pretty sure I've gone too far. I haven't seen a sign in a long time, so I think I'm going to turn around. All right, so slow speed maneuvering, very nice on this bike. Again, it's something that can feel a little intimidating when you're riding a larger motorcycle, is to you know, start into a slow speed turn, a U-turn, or parking the bike, and feeling like it's too much to handle. And this bike didn't feel like that at all. Again, this is going to depend on your skill level too. So, you know, if you're just riding, this probably isn't good. If you're just starting to ride, this probably isn't going to be a motorcycle that you're considering anyway. But just something to consider. Oh, what are you doing there, buddy? Yeah, so I mean, just whipping this bike around, it feels really good. And hopefully getting here, nope, I think I needed to go that way. Oh yeah, well, that was a nice little S curve that shows off what this bike can do. It didn't feel at all like you know, like I was going to take that turn wide, or like I was going to lose control of the bike. So that was nice. We're going to try and find an intersection here that I can get back on the road that I'm supposed to be on. Let's also see if we've got auto-canceling turn signals, because that's something that I like to know that whether a bike has, and it does. So that's nice. You know, even on some of the nicer motorcycles and the other brands, you would think that they'd have auto-canceling turn signals, and they don't. It's not obviously that's not like a make it or break it thing that a motorcycle is going to have, but for me, it's just kind of a nice feature. So let's go back to so you cannot get to the home screen here while you're riding, which is a nice safety feature. I will talk about now the fact that we've been riding for a while, having my leg up against this exhaust. It's starting to get warm. Definitely don't want to rest my leg on that thing. But it does have I'm sure that they've got the nice heat shields there, which are going to, you know, prevent you from just roasting your leg on there. So you've got these mirrors that you can flip all the way around. If you were talking about, you know, wanting to make it so you've got a little bit more room on a bike that's pretty wide already, if you want to do some lane splitting. So that's a thing. And you know, I can see plenty out of these mirrors. Triumph has these mirrors. I think it's pretty standard on all of their bikes. These bar end mirrors. Maybe not the bar end, but this size. And I don't have any issues seeing out of these mirrors. Let's open this up a little bit right here. Oh, it's so easy. Fourth gear, we're like going 80. Oh, that's nice. Oh, and so easy. I mean, we're talking about linear power and sport mode here, and it does feel a little torquier here in sport mode than it did in road mode or regular mode, whatever it was. But not overwhelming at all, and just so comfortable. I mean, when I talk about the suspension on this motorcycle, I'm guessing that you've got adjustable suspension in the front and rear, and it's just absorbing everything. You know, we're on a pretty smooth road here, but at the same time, it's just taking everything. All right, so impressions. This bike comes in 3 different colors. This is not a color that I would choose, but you can see it's got a nice flake in the paint, so it looks really nice. Super classy. It's got this brushed this brushed aluminum, not polished aluminum. Maybe you do call this a polished aluminum, but kind of a raw feeling pinstripe down the middle. with those same highlights throughout the bike. Again, styling on this motorcycle is amazing. All LED lighting on this motorcycle, the dual front headlights, which is akin to my old Fat Bob that I used to ride, so I love that. And it's just another one of those features that makes this motorcycle stand out. You've got the Triumph badging here and all the places that I'm kind of surprised there's not one here on the tank. Triumph badging here on the side, there on the foot pegs. Some nice, this is what's like the polished metal here on the bar ends. So all these nice little touches, and for a bike, and I'll put the price here, that's up there for a cruiser, for a bike of this style. These are all the nice fit and finish touches that you want to see on a bike like this. And I will say, just to make note of, when I do have my leg down there, as we were stopped there at that stoplight, I could feel quite a bit of heat coming off of the exhaust on the left as well. And I don't know if that's an engine heat or if that's exhaust. I'm pretty sure it's engine, because the exhaust, I think, is only on the left. And we're going to take a look here just so we can be sure I'm not giving you guys any misinformation. Yeah, that's just engine heat. They do have a little heat shield for you to prevent you from getting too toasty. So just some other basic things that I haven't covered yet, just to check them off the list for you guys that might have questions about this. Throttle response here is like I said, it's very linear. You can roll on nice and slow, and it's not going to feel super overwhelming. This does feel like we're going the wrong way. Oh, that's where we needed to go, up there. Yeah, we're gonna get back off, because we're definitely going the wrong way. Oh my gosh, that's so easy. And that's a freaking fourth gear. Oh, so nice. We got to get back over there. So throttle response, super linear. It's not overwhelming. You've heard this thing being called the torque monster, which it is torquey, but at the same time, you know, you're not going to, oh, I can't turn right here. This is the one way. How the hell do I get back to where I need to be? We're gonna need to pull over and get directions. So throttle response is great. We've already tried out the ABS, and the brake response is excellent. Suspension is amazing. The seat is comfortable. This bike is fast. This bike is mean, and it's handles much better than a bike this kind of size you would expect would. And so nothing but rave reviews for the Triumph Rocket 3 GT. Again, this bike is packed full of features. I'm going to put up on the screen right now kind of a rundown of like the highlights of this motorcycle for you. And so if you got any questions about those, again, I'll have a link in the description to this motorcycle's the specification page on the Triumph sites specifically. But guys, I'm going to end this video here because it's already been a while. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, if you liked it, make sure you hit that thumbs up down there, which is the like button. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Guys, if you are out there riding, please be safe. Be kind to one another. My name is Eric. I'm that one guy, and I am out.